Hi everyone, I'm Candy, the founder of Vocation. I specialize in helping retirees find meaningful work opportunities in their next chapter. You know, it's funny. While we're working full-time or caretaking full-time, the last thing we think we want to do once we retire is more work. But that's exactly the topic that I'll be talking to you about today. Increasingly, people are actually wanting to work in retirement. Now, by this, I don't mean people are wanting to sign up to another 9 to 5 with difficult customers and a demanding manager. What I mean is people are looking for meaningful pursuits, a vocation or a calling, something that's suitable to them and motivates them to get out of the bed in the morning. In this video, I'll cover this huge social shift that's already starting to happen and also talk about why you should care about finding a vocation in retirement. So the change is already starting to happen. Australians, similar to our counterparts in other first world countries, are living not only longer but more healthful lives. And the time that we're spending in retirement is getting longer and longer. In 1990, the average life expectancy of an Australian was around 77 years old. And life was pretty straightforward. We're a child, a teenager, then as an adult in our 20s, we'll find some sort of full-time work and we'll work at it for about 40 to 50 years of our adult life. We'll retire, be recognized as old, and start preparing for end of life. Fast forward to 2025, the average expectancy is now about 86. And the way we live our lives has also changed. The time it takes for a teenager or a young adult to prepare for full-time work has extended. We then work for several decades as an adult. But what's new now is that it's not uncommon for people in their 50s, typically late 50s, early 60s, to start rethinking about what work means to them. And what I mean by this is typically this becomes less of a focus on gainful employment and more on meaningful pursuits and how their work can fit into their lifestyle. So people in their 50s, 60s, and even 70s are looking for meaningful pursuits or flexible work options that keep them engaged and active, but most importantly, suits their lifestyle. A couple of demographers have commented that we've been gifted an extra 10 years of the most satisfying stage in life, which is this lifestyle stage that you see on screen. And with that, people are seeking to engage in meaningful pursuits and vocations. In fact, almost 1 in 5 Australians over 55 are actively engaged in the labour force in some way, and 73% of Australian workers said they were keen to continue working during retirement so long as it fitted with their lifestyle. Okay, so you probably get the picture. More and more people are choosing to stay engaged in retirement. But why should you care? Why is having a vocation important to thriving in retirement? The first answer is pretty straightforward. So you don't get bored. It's very typical for people to live 20, 30, even 40 years past their formal retirement date. I guarantee you will be bored if you don't have some sort of idea, or even better, a plan to how you'll be spending that time. You'll likely have several decades of relatively good health. And that's enough time to go traveling, try out all the hobbies you want to, start and complete a degree, start up, run and sell a business. My point is, it's a lot of time. Let me take a minute to tell you more about my vocation. I am on a mission to help Australians live a fulfilling next chapter in life. After years of working with new retirees, I've seen how common it is for people to come into an abundance of time, but not a lot of purpose. I created my vocation to help you find your next calling in life. Here's how we do it. First, we get to know who you are. It's a personalized service. Second, we scan the market and talk to our networks to find and match you to the opportunities that are best suited to you. And finally, we give you the option of working with a personalized coach if you want to deep dive on certain topics. You don't have to figure this out alone. Go to myvocation.com.au and let's build your next chapter together. Enjoy the rest of the video. The second reason is to maintain good health. More and more research is confirming that engaging in work that matters to you in retirement is good for not only your mental but physical health. This shouldn't come as a huge surprise. Having a sense of purpose and identity is linked to improved mental well-being and also reduces your risk of depression and dementia. McKinsey research found that among the factors most closely associated to overall health in older adults is having purpose in life and being able to continue to learn. Importantly, the type of work matters. So this is not about finding a highly stressful role or something that's really hard on your physical health. It's about finding work that resonates with you, that you find interesting and meaningful, and that is flexible enough to fit into whatever lifestyle that you have chosen. Finally, it's good for society. It's my view that in coming decades, society will increasingly value older adults and the skill sets they provide. Our society is experiencing huge amounts of technological change and AI. There are several skills that will become increasingly scarce. This includes things like leadership, people management, emotional resilience, and empathy. These skills are the types of things older adults have developed and really honed on their entire lives. That, coupled with a natural inclination to pass on knowledge and to coach others, makes retirees uniquely positioned to be able to fill a growing gap in societal need. Well, that's a wrap. I hope that gave you a good overview of this huge societal shift that's already happening and gave you a few ideas on why it's so important to discover what your next vocation might be.